part of the issue is your environment. And
Right.
yeah, and I mean, even though it's coastal area, I think pretty much that whole southeastern, seaway, it's kind of third dimensional energy. And obviously you've been operating in fourth and fifth dimension for quite a while. So I think it's just I think mainly it's the energies in your area. I'm just seeing like a blockage of some sort, okay?
Mhm.
And I think some of it's environmental, but I think some of it is connected to you as well. And I'm going to look a little deeper to see what that is. Now, I am getting kind of a multi star system lineage with you. Okay, so I think you're somebody that's incarnated in several star systems, and I don't know if you saw that about yourself, but that's what I'm seeing with you. I think your origination point was actually because I'm just seeing several different star systems. I'm seeing Sirius, I'm seeing Pleiades, I'm seeing Arcturus. I'm not seeing anything in Orion, which is good. I don't think you ever felt a connection with Orion. And I don't see anything in Andromeda Galaxy. I think you may have had one or two incarnations in Andromeda constellation. Okay. So you've traveled quite a bit. I'm having a hard time determining what your origination point is. And I think actually your origination point was likely Galactic Center. Okay, so you were one of the higher dimensional beings that was part of the higher galactic councils,
Mhm.
and you've been on this kind of ambassadorial mission for quite a long time. And I think that's where your connection with the records come from. Is um, I think what happened was you were working with the councils and you were accessing the records all the time, so it was pretty seamless for you. So I'm seeing
Mhm.
that even when you were studying with Linda Howe, you picked it up very quickly. Like some people that go through the
Okay.
training, as people in your class. I went through a class myself. There's some people that that catch on a lot quicker than others. Others have to really practice. I'm seeing you didn't have to practice. You were just like
No.
the connection was automatically there. And that's
Mhm.
because you came from the higher dimensional realms originally. So, just as I did. So it's just seamless for you, okay? I think you did quite a bit more Akashic work when you've had incarnations in Arcturus. Okay, um and that was because that's the Stargate where the souls pass through.
Mhm.
And a lot of us that were in Arcturus were working with there was like millions of souls, so it took a lot of us to work with these
Yeah.
souls, to help them with their life reviews and help them select their next soul assignments. So you were doing that work with as well as just like I did, um, so you have, so that even strengthened your Akashic abilities even more. Okay, but what I'm seeing is somehow it's like you were online for quite a long time and now you're offline. Okay,
Right.
so I need to delve a little deeper into your history to see what might have happened. I'm just seeing that you had incarnations in the Pleiades, you had incarnations in Sirius. You even had a couple of incarnations as Andromedan humanoid. I wouldn't say you were higher level Andromedan, but still the Andromedan humanoid beings were very high level. You had a couple of incarnations in Andromeda, so you've kind of ran the whole gamut. So you're a highly, highly experienced soul. And I'm not surprised to see that you were born in 1960 because you were born as a first wave volunteer on with this earth ascension mission. Okay, so that alone tells me you're a highly experienced soul. You've been doing this work for quite a long time. I'm trying to see what the trauma signature is with you, and I think there was some assignments you had through the Galactic Council that were very, very difficult. Okay, and so I'm seeing this may have originated even off-world. I think a lot of it was on-world stuff as well, but you know, I'm gonna check in with your guides. They're telling me that you're tired. You're ready to go home.
I am.
Yeah.
I am. Well, I say that, but
but you're like me. You're still here
sad.
doing the mission. Woohoo! Yeah. So, yeah, I hear you. Yeah, you've been doing this rodeo for a long time in many different star systems, and you've helped the Pleiadians. I don't see that you had a connection with, and you, I don't know, maybe you did. I think you may have had a connection with Lyra, and I think that was a difficult mission because of the Lyran Wars, and I am seeing that, and you're an ancient soul. I mean, I think you're aware of that. Yeah, I'm just seeing that you're tired. I think you just need. I don't know if you need to move somewhere else, or but something, you need to shake up your paradigm, or shake something up.
Yeah, I want to move. I do want to move. So, but it's a financial thing.
Oh, absolutely.
It's
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah.
And so, that's why I'm like, okay, I know I need to move. So, where does the money come from? I mean, it doesn't. Oh, can't pull it out of my ears. So I've been asking them to please help me financially.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, yeah, and I totally get that. Yeah, I mean, I think, and I'm seeing this across the board with a lot of especially my higher dimensional starseed clients. A lot of them are evolving so quickly that they're no longer a vibrational match for their environment. Okay. But because we're here in third dimension, it's so much harder to manifest here. It's like manifesting through mud. I mean, it really is. Whereas when you're in the higher dimensions, you can just think of an orange, and the orange appears.
Yeah.
Or if you want to move someplace, you just think of the place and boom, you're there. And that's what I think humanity is eventually going to be moving towards. But right now, it's like everything is so frickin' slow. I mean, it's very, very slow. So I think that part of that's frustrating you, because I think you remember what it was like just to think of something and boom, there it is, kind of thing. I guess, the only thing I can say is to kind of already think of yourself as being where you want to be. And maybe, do you have an idea of where you want to move to, or what kind of a place, or?
I thought about Nashville, Tennessee. I thought about moving back to where my two kids are in Cincinnati, but oh my God, it's just so cold.
No, yeah, we don't want. No, Cincinnati's even lower vibrational than where you're at right now. So.
Yeah, and then I thought about Florida, but it's the hurricanes, and I've got hurricanes here, but they're even worse in Florida.
Yeah, I hear you.
It's even hotter in Florida. So I would stay in the United States, though, but I would stay somewhere close to where my kids are.
I gotcha. Okay.
Quick flight or driving distance.
Yeah. So, have you thought about like Asheville, North Carolina? Is that an option for you?
Yeah, I have visited there, and it's not a good fit.
Not a good fit. Yeah, gotcha. I've never been there. I just hear people talking about it. So
Well, I can tell talking to you, you're very grounded. I'm very grounded too. I am not one of the a flower child that's gonna go flit out in the forest naked. That's not me.
Yeah, exactly.
Right now, that is a lot of what Asheville is.
Yeah. I hear you.
And they're either stuck in the 80s or they're back in the flower children must go dance naked and be a goddess. That's what they.
Yeah, I gotcha.
And like what?
That kind of sounds like Sedona on my end of the country. It's or it's very
great place to visit though.
No, it's very nice. Yeah, I mean, I mean, Sedona is beautiful, but I mean, the first thing you should do is maybe decide what is a good fit for you, or if you can't do that, at least imagine, what your new life would be like, and do that every single night. I mean, just kind of imagine and feel the feelings, even if you can like manifest the smells or, whatever it is, if you want to be in the mountains, or if you want to be near the ocean, or whatever it is that it will really get you excited. And I did that to manifest my partner. So and it worked.
Yeah.
It worked. It did. I mean, and it actually worked pretty quick. I mean, I manifested him in like, I think a little like 5 weeks. So just doing this visualization. And I know it sounds very basic, but it's what worked for me.
Yeah, that would be great, because I'll do the imagine the partner too. I actually do better with a partner. It's just my makeup. I just do better with a partner.
Oh yeah, yeah, and I think that is because you spent a lot of time in the Pleiades, and
Yeah.
so, and I did too. So I'm the same way. I mean, I'm independent. I can be alone, but it's not my preference. So
Right.
because I think things
Yeah, I
are.
can be alone.
Yeah, because I think, in third dimensional reality, things are so difficult here that it's a lot easier when you have a partner, because at least there's two of
Yeah.
you that are a team and you're working together, so
Yeah,
um
I agree.
yeah, so I think, maybe that's a lot of what's going on, is that you're kind of stuck in this place. You're disconnected from your higher self. You don't even have a partner. I mean, your kids are far away. It's just, all these strikes against you right now. Are you able to do something that can bring in some income, or are you looking to get back into doing Akashic readings so you can bring in some income? Because Akashic readings are kind of hot right now. I mean, I'm doing really well. My husband is shocked because he told me 2 years ago that I would never be able to make a business out of doing Akashic readings, and I told him, watch me. And
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
yeah, and
Yeah, I am looking to get back into it. Yes.
I think you should. And I mean, because you obviously are very gifted. I mean, and I don't know your Akashic style. I haven't had a reading with you, but I'm just seeing in the records you're extreme. You used to be very gifted at what you did, and I think you used to do pretty well with it. But what happened 2 years ago?
Mediumship.
What's that? I'm sorry.
I'm doing mediumship. I just loved it.
Yeah, yeah. I think you're very, very gifted, and I think you're kind of in this funk right now, and
Yeah.
you need to kind of shake yourself out of it. But and I'll help you along the way, because that's what I do. I will help you. But
I appreciate it. Thank you.
yeah, I think part of the issue is where you're at. Now, I'm fortunate. I live in Colorado, so I have many avenues to kind of advertise myself. I do presentations in the Front Range area. I get invited to speak at conferences. I don't do a lot of conferences. I actually wish I do. I can do more, but I know it's just a matter of time of just building my name. Uh, but but yeah, I think you just need to get back on that circuit, and I don't know if there's much of a spiritual community where you're at. I think that's part of the issue too.
Yeah.
I think you need to feel the support of, spiritual people that believe in what you believe, even if they're online. I mean, so. Another recommendation I can make for you, and you'll receive an email from me after this reading. It'll have a link to an online group called Meet Earth's Cosmic Neighbors, and it's a Facebook group, but there's over 14,000 members from all over the United States, all over the world, and people connect on that so much. I mean, I've met so many wonderful people, not just clients, but just wonderful people in general. And when I travel, I actually get the opportunity sometimes to meet them. So um, it's just something you might want to consider. If you don't mind being on a Facebook group. They do talk about a lot of interesting topics. Most of it's UFO disclosure type stuff, or kind of the conspiracy, more leaning towards the conspiracy theory stuff. But they do talk a lot about spirituality as well. So it's just something to consider. And I am one of the admin people on this group. So if I see your name, I'll definitely approve you to be in the group.
Okay, yeah, just send me the links with the YouTube too, and I'll do that today.
Yeah, I think that'll help. It'll just help because I was kind of in a funk about 2 years ago. I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and I just felt like, okay, maybe this is my out, But I recovered, and I've been in remission now for about a year and a half. But yeah, I would say, but I listened to those, and I don't know what drew me to these particular ones, but they were very helpful. I mean, out of all the ones I've listened to, I think these were the best. And like I said, they seem kind of corny at first, but then you're like, wow, okay, I just found some money, next day, or oh, I got a check in the mail, so yeah,
Okay.
so it's really pretty cool. So I'm sorry I'm not really going in much into galactic history with you. I'm trying to just give you, I think, what you need at the moment.
That's perfect. Because I do need the practical. It's like I knew I was a council member. I just didn't know the details.
Yeah, you've been a council member for a long time. Yeah, and that's probably where you're going to go back to when you leave your Earth mission. Which hopefully will not be for many years. But you'll go back there and get a different assignment. Hopefully a much easier assignment. Because but I even think you probably won't even be doing anything for a while. You'll just be hanging out there for a while, because I think you need to rest. Because you've been doing this. And you've had a fair amount of incarnations on Earth, but I don't see very many. I think Earth, and I'm kind of the same way. I think Earth is beautiful, but I don't feel really a deep connection to it like some people do. I just feel like I'm a visitor. It's like, okay, I'm on this kind of extended, business trip. And it's nice, but it's not home. I understand what you're going through, and I believe you can get yourself out of it. I really do. I think a move would help a lot. I honestly do. And I mean, you can even take your business online, and that's the other recommendation I would make for you is, if you reestablish your business, you got to like blast yourself on social media. And it's hard for us that are, older star seeds to do that because we're not that savvy with social media. I can recommend somebody that can help you with that if you wanted to do that. I'm fortunate that I have clients that have been willing to help me with some of this stuff, and of course I pay them. I don't take advantage of their gifts, but
see, I'm the same way. I will not take advantage of someone, and I feel like I'm putting extra work on you.
Oh no, not at all. No, I think that I think you just need a little bit of a boost because you've been feeling so unsupported. You just feel like you're out there in the middle of some some coastals, small coastals town in South Carolina. And unfortunately, I hate to say this, but the South, they're just not on board yet with with the spiritual movement. They're really behind, really behind.
Very much so. Very much so.
Yeah.
I've been called an atheist. I mean, it's just been ridiculous. But it is coming around. But it's like, okay, well, I don't want to be here for it though. I want to
We're
move on.
talking about maybe they might come around 5 to 10 years from now. I mean, you don't have 5 or 10 years to waste, so
I don't. I
yeah.
don't. So yeah.
Um, and and yes, you can do a lot of your business online, or through Skype, like, or phone, or whatever works for you. But you want to be in a community where you feel that support, where you can, if you need, a place to do a workshop, you can find a place to do that. Or if you need to do some uh, presentation, so you can get people, really excited and interested in what you do, that you have the capacity to do that without traveling halfway across the country, so.
Right.
So yeah, so
Okay.
I think you do, you need to have, a place, kind of a good place where, you can do that. And, I think you can do it, somewhat close to your kids. And I don't know what the spiritual community is like in Nashville. I've never been there, but I imagine just because it's a bigger city, they might have more opportunities there. Okay, so
Yeah, it's turning into like a lot of people from LA and California are traveling there and getting second homes there. So it is up and coming.
mm-hmm.
And I don't know why I pulled Asheville out of my head, but it's like it's so much more expensive. Like my taxes here are $400 a year.
Mm-hmm.
There would be, it would triple.
Oh wow.
And
Okay.
it's like so. And it was the same with Ohio. My little ranch. My taxes were $5,000. I've got the same size little townhouse here, and my taxes are $400. So
mm-hmm.
It's like I've got to figure out. It all. I hate to say it. It comes down to getting out of my funk and financials.
Yeah, it is, and that's the practical part that that you'll need to figure out, and I had to do it too, and I'm transitioning out of a long time science career, and my goal is next year I'm retired. It's if not sooner. I actually think I can do it sooner, but my husband doesn't think so. But he's but I because I need to be able to focus on full time. If I'm going to make this into a career or a business or whatever, I have to advertise a lot more, and right now I don't have the time to do that. So
Yeah.
You're gonna have to do the same thing, and but you need to have that kind of that home support, and I do think that once you get your business out and going, and you start connecting with other like-minded people that in some sort of even if it's a small spiritual community, that I think things will start shifting and changing, and that partner will come into your life, and you will find people that will be able to support you in what you do. Because right now I just feel like you're like this little island, and maybe that's why I kept thinking you're on an island, because you're on this little island all by yourself, So,
Yeah.
was there any questions you had for me, or because I feel like maybe there's something I'm missing, or is there something you were wondering about?
I'm wondering about my guides. Have my guides changed? I mean, because everything feels so different, and I know I'm in a funk, but everything feels so different.
I kind of almost know what you were going to ask before you asked it, but what I'm picking up is you need a new set of guides. Your guides are tired too. Okay, so
I'm sure they're tired of me.
no, it's not that. I think it's that you're evolving right now. You're kind of like in a cocoon, and the guides that were attached to you when you were a caterpillar were good guides while you were a caterpillar, but now you're evolving into a butterfly. Even though it seems like you're in this dark night of the soul, you're actually evolving and shifting and changing. Okay, so So you need to have butterfly guides now. Okay, so
Okay.
you're about to bust out of the cocoon, so you're not going to be in the cocoon for much longer. Okay, it's just right now that's where you're
Okay.
at. I'm just seeing a lot of discordant energies around you. I'm not seeing any attachments or implants or anything weird like that. I just see
Mhm.
just kind of this funky discordant energies, and it's um, and I think you can clear them off yourself. I just think you're too tired to do it right now. So
Okay.
yeah, so it's just do the self sovereignty invocation. You'll feel actually a lot lighter after you just even speak this out loud.
Okay.
So I'm just going to try to give you some tools to help you, so
Okay. Yeah.
but yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, so what caused you to move to Morrell's Inlet or South Carolina? Was it a partner or um
I went through a divorce. Now let me say that my divorce was official in 2005. So it's been a very long time.
oh my
But
goodness, yeah.
yeah, and actually I just finally forgave him. Just several weeks ago, which all of a sudden I woke up and went, wow, I have forgiven him finally.
Mm-hmm.
But but I lived very close to them, and he was like this rock star of the community there, and I couldn't turn a corner without seeing his name plastered on a billboard or someone praising, his work or blah blah blah. And I actually hid in, those round retail clothing things. I actually hid in the middle of one of those from his new wife. He got married a month after we were divorced.
Oh wow.
I actually hid in the middle of one of those so I wouldn't have to run.
Oh man.
And so it's like, I can't do this anymore. I can't take it anymore. I was in love with him, and I don't know. It's just oversensitive, and I'm like, I just gotta move. I just want to move.
So I guess
So
you picked the furthest place you could find that where you could just erase his memory and erase every part about him, I guess. So
it was close enough where I wouldn't have to be in harsh winters, and I could still get in the car and drive home.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
gotcha.
about a 10 to 12 hour drive.
Right. Okay. So obviously you want to stay in the south part of the United States or somewhere in the south part of the United States, but
Yeah, just because the weather is warmer and I'm closer to my kids who, we're in Ohio Valley. So.
right, yeah, that's understandable. So
Yeah.
no reinventing yourself in Costa Rica or anything like that. So
No. No, not for me. Not for this mom, no. I'm too
yeah,
much
I
of a mom.
understand. I understand. That's actually my dream, but
Yeah.
but
I like to be a world traveler because I'm a Sagittarius, but I can't be away from my kids for too long.
yeah, I
So.
understand that. Yeah, and that's what It's interesting you brought up being Sagittarius because I think you are meant to be independent, but I think
Yeah.
you have to have a partner that is not so tied to the 3D. It sounds like your ex-husband was very tied to 3D values, and
He still is, yes.
yeah. And I think you need somebody that's as much of a free spirit as you are, and but yet would have the stability to where I think if you two were both Sagittarius, you guys would never see each other. I mean, so you almost need like a Libra or I don't know, an Aries or somebody that's kind of uh, that's a little more grounded in you, but is just as independent and free spirited, But
Yeah.
and I'm not sure what maybe even the Leo would be good for you because Leos are very grounded. I'm a Leo, so
Okay.
yeah. So I think somebody that is highly spiritual and is on his own path, but is not financially broke. Okay, let's just say call
Yeah.
it like it is.
Yeah, because that's what I'm bringing to the table right now. So.
I know, I mean, let's just be honest about it, So you don't want some dude that's going to be riding on your coattails, so
Right, and that's what I've had too.
yeah.
So.
Yeah, you want somebody that, is financially independent, but and he doesn't necessarily have to be rich, but just, somebody that, you know, is holding his own,
Yeah.
and is not going to be looking for a sugar mama, so
Right.
um so yeah, and it's
Yeah,
not
I
like you're looking
understand
for
that.
a sugar daddy either. I think you're just looking for somebody that has something to, to offer you, as far as,
Yes.
uh, you know being in partnership. I think the reason why you're not attracting this person is because you aren't that person yet. Okay.
Not yet. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. You're
I mean, and I'm
100%
not. I'm not
accurate.
saying this to be.
Please don't hold back.
Yeah. Yeah. No. I'm just not saying this to be critical. It's. I think we have to establish a certain amount of financial independence before we attract somebody that is also the same. Okay. And I found this with I was single for a lot of years. And I had a horrible first marriage. It was horrible. It didn't even last 5 years. It
Yeah.
was so horrible.
Yeah.
But I knew that I couldn't attract something that I wasn't myself, so I did a lot of inner work to build myself up to, being an independent person. And,
Mhm.
and when I met, my husband, Terry, I was working a job, and actually the same job I'm working now, but kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Time passes by so fast, but I was living on my own, and I was doing pretty good. I wouldn't say I was rolling in the dough, but I was paying my bills and doing okay. And I think you need to get yourself to that point where you can say, you know what, I may be just treading water, but I'm doing okay. And
Yeah. It gives me a sense of self-identity too. And right now, it's like I don't know who I am. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what I'm doing.
yeah,
You know.
absolutely, yeah. And I think, yeah, you just need to get. So right now you're kind of in what we call Maslow's hierarchy of needs, kind of the bottom level. You're in survival mode. So,
Yes. And
so
my vibration is attracting that too.
absolutely, yeah, because you're just operating in 2D, 3D for survival mode, and you know, and
Right, and that's not really who I am.
no,
I
and
just,
that's
like
why I
you said,
think you're
I
struggling
can't
so
get out of this
much.
funk.
Yeah, you're in this funk, and you need to get to the point where at least you're like, two levels above that, so
Okay, yeah.
where you're more self-actualized, because right now you're still operating in, oh, I'm just barely making it to pay my bills, and where's the money going to come, and that kind of thing, so so I don't know. I think the key is to get your business back online. And I know
Okay,
I said that like 5 times already, but I
okay,
I think you have to pull it together to where and it may take you having to go back to Akashic 101 and
okay,
practice connecting with the records again, because I'm telling you
okay,
right now the Akashic business is hot. It is hot hot. So
okay.
anybody people are looking for people to help them trace back their past lives. That's why the QHHT sessions, these practitioners are making money hand over fist, because everybody wants to be connected with their past lives, and they're traveling halfway around the country to have sessions with these people. And that's
Right.
another thing you can think of too, is maybe QHHT training if you wanted to go a step further. But I think Akashic is good enough. I don't even think you need to go through the
Okay,
retraining. I think I think you just need to bring your skills back online. And
okay. I
because
have the books and CDs, so I could actually retrain myself too.
oh, absolutely,
But I
yeah.
will absolutely look up the coach info that you'll send. I'll absolutely look that up too.
Yeah, and I think, just maybe connecting with people that are like you, and even if you have to do it online for now, and at least somebody that, so you're not feeling so isolated, so.
Okay.
And there's, like I said, that group I mentioned before, there's a lot of nice people, and I guess that's maybe why I'm not really seeing like a lot of really deep level stuff right now, is because you need the support with the basic level right now. So
Okay.
I am kind of picking up something. Okay, I'm seeing that you and your ex-husband were connected in a past life, and
Mhm.
yeah, it was. You said the divorce was finalized just recently.
No, it was finalized in 2005, but it's like I just recently forgave him.
Oh wow. Okay, it took you that long, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. I was a mess. Yeah.
Oh wow. I'm seeing that. Okay, and this is going to be, and it's coming from a past life. And it was here on Earth. Okay. I'm seeing that your ex-husband was kind of a feudal lord in the Middle Ages.
Yeah. Mhm.
And I don't know if you saw that too in the records, but he owned a lot of land, and a lot of people worked for him. Okay. Um, in that life, I think you were somebody that, and I'm seeing you were very beautiful in that life. I think you're very beautiful in this life too. I haven't seen your picture, but I'm just, guessing you are. But um, I'm seeing that he really wanted to be with you sexually. Okay. Um,
Mhm.
and you weren't having it because you demanded that, okay, if we're going to have sex, we're going to be married. I'm going to be your wife. But of course, he didn't want to marry you because you were beneath his station. But he sure wanted to have sex with you. Okay,
Mhm.
so I'm seeing that you kept refusing his advances, and I think one day this is awful. I hate talking about this stuff, but like I said, we're going to be honest. So he raped you and got
Mhm.
you pregnant. Okay. So you were almost, because you were pregnant and you were unmarried, you were forced to. I think he did send money, but you were almost forced to be under his care, and actually you were
Mhm.
forced to be under his care. And no one else would marry you because you were this tainted woman. Okay.
Mhm.
So um so it was kind of a miserable existence. You felt kind of bound to him, but you didn't want to be bound to him. Okay.
Right.
So it's interesting that in this life you remarried your rapist. Okay. It's just
Yeah.
and I
And
think
I, I that's the kind of men I've attracted to.
and I think the reason why you did that was because on some level you wanted to at least say, okay, at least I finally got married you. It was like you wanted to accomplish that so you can close the chapter. So it was like he got you in that first life, you got him in this life. Okay, at least for a while.
Yeah.
But obviously, because it was kind of a messed up soul contract to begin with, it was something that was set due to, he actually infringed upon your free will, which is, a violation of universal law. Okay.
Right.
um, uh, you felt compelled to close the chapter, by finally getting that marriage that you were looking for, but even that didn't bring you any happiness, or at least, maybe initially it did, but it didn't bring you happiness in the long run. So that is a chapter that you had to close with him in order to be able to move on. I think the reason why it took you so long to forgive him was because you are not just forgiving him for stuff from this life, but you were having to forgive him from stuff from the last life. Okay.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think it took you a long time just to process through all of it. And it, I'm glad you finally forgave him. I think that was probably key, the first key at least, to you being released from that soul contract. Okay. It's just that for some reason there's still an emotional attachment, and I'm not sure why, but and I think you were just always kind of hoping that he would come around and treat you better, and he never did.
No, he never did.
Yeah. Now, you were married to him for how long?
28 years.
Oh my goodness. Oh geez.
Yeah, I married him. I met him when I was 14. I married him when I was 19. I just turned 19 in November. I married him in January, and so I'm almost 58 now. So
Wow. Wow.
years, and we had 2 kids. So.
Yeah. Are the
and
kids?
I stayed for the kids.
What's that?
I'm the typical I stayed for the kids person.
You gotcha. Okay. So are the kids attached to their dad, or they're more attached to you, or kind of equal?
He's the more dominant parent.
Mm-hmm.
So and so that, they idolize him. I have a little bit of an estrangement with my son, but and that's a long story. But his dad had something to do with that, and but we're fine. We're okay now. And then I'm very close to my daughter.
Okay. Okay.
But she idolizes her dad, so.
Yeah.
And I never talk against. I have never talked against their father ever.
Right.
I can't say the same for him.
Yeah. It's funny about men. They don't say much about their wives when they're married, but when they divorced, it's like, oh my God, she was so crazy. Oh, I mean, they just blab this stuff all over the place. And
I know, and that's fine, but they shouldn't do it to their children.
Absolutely. No, I'm in 100% agreement with that. And, but I mean, they'll sit there and talk smack about their ex-wives to the kids, and it's just like, that just, it doesn't serve any. It's not productive, it's just not productive. So, but yeah, I'm just seeing that he's somebody, and I'm seeing he actually originated from Orion and Maldek, so he's kind of I'm not even sure why you were attracted to him, but I think it was the power, and he's a kind of a high-powered guy, and I think you're kind of like this wandering soul, and you were looking for some security, and he provided that for you, so so I think for whatever it's worth, at least you got the contract finished, and it's so you're not going to be connected with him in the next life and next one beyond that. So but yeah, he's not he's a kind of like a person that's a taker. He does not give. And I see quite a bit of narcissism there too. So yeah, and he's not going to change. It's
no.
Yeah, he's what, in his late 50s too, or early 60s, or
no, he's how old am I? I'm just gonna be 58 in November. He's about 4 years older than me, so he's in his 60s.
60s, yeah, he's not going to change.
I don't care if he does.
Yeah, and yeah, so I think you leaving him in 2005 was like the most liberating thing you've done in this lifetime. I mean, it was just like, it was a stand for your own independence, and I think you needed to do that, because you would have died if you had stayed And I don't mean that maybe literally, but maybe in a
No,
figurative sense.
I believe I would have gotten ill and died. Yeah.
Yeah, you would have died. Yeah, and um, but yeah, because yeah, I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna say anymore. But
Okay. Yeah.
uh,
That's over.
yeah, it's just over, and uh, I don't know. I think you've learned from that. Obviously, you've learned from that relationship, but I think that this next one you're going to have is going to be a lot different. Okay. I think you're done with the narcissistic, um, kind of guy, abusive kind of guys. I think you've run the gamut on that, and maybe that's why you had to be in the cocoon for a while. When you move into your butterfly phase, you're going to, I think, attract partners that are a lot healthier. Okay, and they may not be exactly what you're expecting. Okay, so you may end up connecting with somebody that may be younger, or what I'm saying, or I mean, there could be a variety of different things, but or somebody of a different race, but I think as a Sagittarius, you don't care about that. You're not stuck to tradition anyways. So yeah, just kind of keep the parameters of your partner open, because I'm seeing that he's going to be somebody that's going to be quite a bit different than what you're used to being with, and um, but different in a good way. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, So let's see, we have about maybe 10 minutes left in our reading. So I just want to make sure if you had any other questions that you get an opportunity to ask them.
Okay, so I have a little bit of income coming in from a retirement account,
Okay.
and but I can't touch any more of it. I can't, and so everybody keeps saying, why don't you just go get a job? Because I don't have any skills other than this kind of stuff. I and telling me to go get a job like in retail or Home Depot, and I know this is going to sound really spoiled, but I just can't bring myself to do it.
No, I
And
understand. I understand.
I'm so emotional about it that I cannot get clear guidance on whether or not to just go do it or not. So, in the meantime, I'm trying to do some, study tarot. I even the other day, thought about going into like macro photography just because I'm so creatively stagnant right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I don't know. I don't see you doing like a 3D kind of job. And if you did, it would be maybe at like a spiritual bookstore. I think something
Okay.
like maybe you would go into a spiritual bookstore and be a reader for 2 days out of the week, just to kind of get your skills up and going. And I did that. I mean, I didn't do the bookstore thing, but I was part of a meetup group where we would meet and do tarot readings for each other on Saturday afternoons in a Mexican restaurant
Okay.
here in Castle Rock. Uh, so I mean, so you can do something. So you might want to look and see if there's any meetups that where tarot readers can meet, or just different practitioners can meet to kind of like a psychic group or a psychic circle. I don't know what they
Okay.
call them there, but
Okay.
I think right now you've been so disconnected from the higher realms that you need some practice, and you'll find that your skills will get back online really quickly. I mean, just after maybe a couple of meetups, or a couple of sessions, but you can make money being a reader, and it will bring in some maybe not a lot of money, but it'll bring in a fair amount of money. It depends on how
Okay.
busy the bookstore is,
Okay.
but there's
Yeah.
always people looking for tarot readers. The downside of being a tarot reader in a bookstore is you get clientele of all kinds. Okay, so
Right.
and
Yes.
you don't get the very spiritually enlightened people like you do when you do Akashic readings. It's very, low level kind of stuff, but I can see you doing something like that over working at Home Depot. That's not your style.
Yeah.
It's
not. It just kills me to think about it.
No, I mean, if your spirit's rebelling against it, then don't do it. I mean, don't do it just because your friends say you have to, or whatever. But
Okay.
yeah, I do see you. Maybe you have to do the kind of mundane, spiritual stuff for a while, but
Okay.
but I think that's a lot better, and it's going to be more of a match for what you do than working at a retail store selling clothes.
Okay.
So that your guides are saying no. No.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah. So
Good.
they're just like, no, she doesn't have to go. She doesn't have to go that far down. So.
Okay. Good.
I just think it's, I think it's just getting your name out there, getting people like, oh, wow, and they start telling their friends and that's how it happened for me. Nobody, I mean, I couldn't even give away a Akashic reading for free when I was starting doing this work, so, but what I did was I went on some of these starseed groups on Facebook. And I said, hey, I'm just kind of practicing my new skills. I'll offer you an Akashic reading for $40, and you'll be surprised at how many people will jump at the chance of having an Akashic reading for $40. Just kind of to get some money. You want to kind of, even if it's just a little bit, you want to have that feeling of money flowing in. Okay.
Okay.
So it's, even if you have to accept even less than what you would normally charge, and I don't know what you used to charge when you were doing the work, but or just maybe
50.
What's that?
It was a long time ago. It was 50.
Oh wow! Oh, that must have been a long time ago. Yeah, because now it's like, I mean, I'm cheap compared to most. Most charge, I think, around 200 for an hour. So. And
I gave the shop $10, and they gave me the other 40.
Oh my God! Oh geez!
Yeah.
Wow.
But that was only 30 minutes, which usually ran to 40.
Yeah. Well, that's not so bad then. I would say if that was $50 for an hour, that's really highway robbery. But but yeah, no, that's wow. And you can do Akashic readings too. With the bookstore or the spiritual center or wherever it is that you're. Maybe just offer.
I just connected with the spiritual center, so I'm hoping that it opens up. I'm actually seeing her for some acupuncture. I'm trying to get out of my funk, so that's what I'm reaching out.
Yeah, I think once you make those connections, and people see, wow, she's really good. She knows what she's doing, and they feel confident to have you on as a weekly, and I know they usually feature different readers, but I could do that, here. I'm so busy now. I don't have the time to do that, and I don't feel the need to do that. But
that's good.
Yeah, no, I'm booked out. I tell you what, that's why I think you need to get back in the Akashic game, because you're going to be booked out too. So
okay.
Yeah, you'll be have more money than you know what to do with, But it's just a matter of getting your name out there and doing the advertising. Oh yeah, I was going to send you the name of my marketing person. Let me write that note down too. Yeah, we need to get you back up and running. So out of the funk, because the funk has gone on for too long. Okay.
It has, and it's like I just felt so emotionally fed when I was doing readings, and I just loved it. It was the only thing in my life other than my kids that I was like, oh, I love that.
Aren't readings doing readings fun? I mean, they're so much fun.
Yeah.
I mean,
you're helping people,
Yeah, exactly, and you connect with all these beautiful souls that are out there, and and you meet just wonderful people. You really do. But
I do have a quick question.
Sure.
Is my sister around?
Did your sister pass?
Yes.
Let me check in on your sister's energy. I didn't feel her in the beginning of the reading, but I think once she heard her name mentioned, she came in. So yeah, she's here.
Okay, I just wondered.
Yeah.
We didn't speak for a long, long time. I never saw her before she died. I did talk to her, but I didn't see her.
Yeah. I just feel she's kind of distant. And normally I'm not a medium, but I can connect with spirits, if they come in. But I'm not really connecting with her. I know she's here, but she's
Okay.
I'm seeing there's
I
some.
never feel her myself. So.
I'm feeling there's some unfinished business there too that needs to be needs to have some closure.
Okay.
And I think maybe the self-sovereignty invocation will help with some of that, but I think some of it is maybe just speaking to her spirit and just saying, so we are at the end of our reading, and so unless you have any last questions, I'm going to go ahead.
No, that's it. I really appreciate it. I have to say you have helped me tremendously, and I do appreciate you offering all the extra links. I will take them graciously and with gratitude.
I appreciate that. Thank you. And I'm here to support you. I feel honored to be able to, assist you with this process today. And I wish you a lot of love and success on your journey.
Thank you. You too.